We're not lawyers. We're just two guys talking.
So, Jordan, what's in your sights for today?
So did you hear about, DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency?
Yes.
Elon Musk, who people either love, and I kind of like him, although I don't believe in the Mars thing,
what?
Or they hate him. Have you noticed that?
Well, now they hate him. So everybody's been really negative against Elon Musk lately. Everybody loved his cars, and since he became part of the government, Doge. Yeah, they've been people have been burning all of the electric cars and stuff and setting them on fire.
Well, I'm a fan of Elon Musk.
So am I.
I don't believe in that Mars thing. Mars, that's ridiculous. But anyway, come on. Terraforming Mars, seriously. But anyway, I want to read something. Have you heard about stimulus checks, possibly?
I did.
You heard about that?
I have. I did. Good. This has kind of been the talks for a couple of weeks now.
So can I read something from a news site? All right. So this is what it says. It says, a potential Department of Governmental Efficiency, DOGE, check, remains the talk of many. So this thing says we could potentially get a $5,000 stimulus check.
But my question is, who will be qualified for it is the question. The thing, because there's got to be some sort of stipulation. Do you have to be working? Can you be retired? I mean, who gets it? Or does everybody get it? That's the question, because I don't know.
So, I mean...
But $5,000, that's a lot. And I said before, $5,000 is a lot of money. Definitely would help me, and you started to say that it wouldn't.
If everybody gets $5,000, then the value of the dollar goes down.
No, not by that much. The amount of money that's been stolen and given away created that. $5,000 for each person is nothing. They've been stealing millions and billions of dollars, which, by the way, they're getting a lot of that back.
And they really are, right?
Yeah, they really are. Like $500 billion. So $500 billion. Just think it. It's just so dumbfounding of that. The biggest cause of this of corruption is the Democratic Party.
So, Joe, this is what I don't understand. A lot of people that I interact with, some of which are my actual friends, I have friends who are liberal Democrats, right?
Are they Democrats or are they liberal? Because there's far left, there's liberal, then there's Democrat, then there's oh my God, independent.
Well, you met my friend Alex, right? Alex is a college professor.
Okay.
Don't say his last name, but he's a college professor. And he's a liberal Democrat. So, we were talking, and I was telling him how, and he hates Elon Musk, even though he loved Elon Musk before. He loved the idea of the electric cars. I don't know how he could believe in the Mars thing, but he even liked the idea of the Mars thing, which I really don't understand, because our technology, we can't terraform Mars. That's ridiculous. But all of a sudden, I'm like, you have these people working at no-show jobs, and Elon Musk and his little genius young people are finding this. Why would any American resist this?
Yeah, and be anti-American. It's like saying, well,
no-show jobs. How many of you people who are watching this work for your money and actually show up for work? Do you really think it's okay for no-show jobs to exist? And so my liberal Democrat friend says to me, oh, Jordan, come on, there are no-show jobs.
There's a bazillion of them.
Yeah, of course.
I can't believe how many. But this is the screwed up part, and this is important. Some of these people don't even exist.
And I told him that. I said, at least would you get rid of the 140-year-olds? And he goes, this is what my friend told me. He said, there aren't really 140-year-old people. He said it's an artifact of the fact that the government still uses the COBOL programming language. Now, if the government still uses antiquated computer languages like COBOL, wouldn't Elon Musk and his little geniuses
would have found it? Would have found it.
And wouldn't they be the best to say, okay, the infrastructure that the government is using is pathetically antiquated. Let's fix it.
Wait a minute, but they're saying, so if they're using COBOL back then, it was wrong back then?
No, it was COBOL at
No.
one point
You're
in
missing.
time.
You're missing what I'm saying.
Yeah.
COBOL, I know what it is.
Okay.
I took it in college too.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Pascal as well.
I did too.
Okay. So that's funny. And machine language is a whole nother. You remember the
Right.
index cards? So you're telling me back then when they used COBOL, it was actually wrong. It was getting ages wrong. The programming doesn't change. It's the same application, same program. It's not going to change and make people the wrong age.
Well, I am not a programmer.
No, neither
nor
am
have
I, but-
ever studied COBOL.
Yeah, but if you run a program that was made in 1970 and you run it now, it should run the same.
But this is the talking point that my liberal Democrat
Yeah, he's a
friend
moron. He's an actual
is
idiot.
propagating. So what he
That's
and
false.
others are saying is that there aren't really 140-year-old people.
There are.
But it's an artifact of antiquated
No.
computer infrastructure.
That's a guess. He has no idea what he's talking about.
No, but he'll propagate it as
Yeah.
if it's true.
Yeah, no.
And I feel like this is what's going on. So I don't have any confidence in Elon Musk terraforming Mars, but I do have confidence that Elon Musk and his little geniuses can reform the government's computer infrastructure and can find if money is being funneled allegedly into 140-year-old people, but are ending up in government operators' hands.
So what's really interesting, though, Jordan, is that
Yeah.
they found people that are 360 years old, too.
Well,
So,
I want to
one-
meet them. I want to take whatever
Yeah.
vitamins they're taking.
You know what Trump said?
What?
He says, oh, it looks like we don't have a health crisis. After
Yeah.
all, we have people living to 220 to 300 years old to 180. I mean, and he listed everybody, the amount of people that were actually in these groups. So my concern is that you'll have these people that don't exist. So you might have a guy's name named Steve Johnson, for argument's sake, doesn't exist. That's why they sent out that email, and then reply back. And if no one replies back, that money could be going towards someone else in like in the House, a Democrat.
I don't understand why any American would be against
that. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the government is known for its horrible efficiency. Why would you not want Elon Musk and his little geniuses to find out,
Right.
where some of this money is going?
Well, I did a calculation. There's 168 million people working.
Right.
All right, of which totally I actually made this in terms of giving everybody. I think we talked about this once before. Giving everybody a $65,000 a year job.
Right.
The country makes $4.8 trillion a year.
Mm-hmm.
So
in salaries?
In salaries, yeah. Well, taxes. So the government,
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, we make $4.8 trillion a year.
That's how much all the Americans earn? Is that what you're saying?
No. This is what we pay the government every year in taxes.
We pay $4.8 trillion a year in taxes? Are you sure about that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That
Yep.
seems almost incomprehensible.
What are you talking about? We're at $36 trillion in debt.
4.8 trillion?
Yes. That's it, though. That's not a lot. Yep, I figured it out. I did a whole calculation. I did it 3 times to make sure I was correct.
Really? That's
Yes.
like a genuinely astronomical number, because a trillion is 10 to the 12. That's 1 with 12 zeros.
Right. Exactly. So when you say a billion is 1,000 million.
A billion is 10 to the 9, a 1
Right.
with 9 zeros. That's
Right,
a tremendous amount of money.
I know, and then one more than that would be the trillion. You have trillion,
3
billion.
more. 3 more than
Yeah,
that.
3 more zeros. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So, but I'm saying that 1,000 million is 1 billion. 1,000 billion is 1 trillion. No, just so people can comprehend what we're talking
And
about.
you're saying we pay almost $5 trillion
in taxes. Yep.
That just seems astronomical.
That's what it is. I did it 3 times to make sure. We could redo it again if you like. Just remember, it's 168 million people that are working, times it by $65,000 a year. You subtract 25 to 28. I did 28%.
Why
of
would
their
any
salary.
American not want to discover the no-show jobs and the 140-year-old people?
Well, this is where it comes. This is what the problem is.
Yeah.
So if we're making this much money for the government,
Right.
all right, and we're only, so the reason why we're in debt is we're at $36 trillion in debt. Okay, 36 trillion. So think about it. If we balance the budget and we spend only say $3 trillion every
Right.
year, we could put the other 1.8 trillion towards a deficit.
Right.
Right. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to knock. I think didn't Elon say two trillion? He wants to cut the deficit by 2 trillion.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
Suppose he can do it by finding the 140-year-old people and the people with the no-show jobs and find out which politicians' pockets that money is going into. I really, for the life of me, can't understand why any American, regardless of what party.
It's just finding waste.
So I think what's going on here is there's this concept called tribalism. Whatever information comes into your consciousness
Everybody
doesn't
follows.
matter, because if you are on a certain team, that information you will
Right.
just either ignore or you'll justify, and it's really just a matter of what tribe you belong to. Like my friend who's a liberal Democrat. He's such a smart man, but he says some of the stuff that makes no sense to me logically, because he's just defending his tribe with whatever he can pull out of thin air.
Hashtag common sense.
Respect.
Exactly. I would love to know if the people who are anti-Doge would actually accept a $5,000 check.
Of course they will. Oh, of course they will. And they'll rationalize it. They'll rationalize it. So the thing with tribalism.
Well, yeah, tribalism.
Tribalism.
That makes more sense now. In other words, if you're setting your ways in terms of this is the right way, regardless if it's the wrong way, you have tunnel vision and you only think that way, and that is it.
Allegiance to your leader, allegiance to your king, allegiance to your social group. It has evolutionary value in terms
Right.
of survival, because it makes you unilaterally dedicated to your tribe, which, a couple of 100,000 years ago probably was a tremendous advantage,
Right.
Because you would be a warrior for your tribe no matter whether they were right or wrong, and your genes would propagate. But we're in a different kind of society now where I think tribalism can interfere with Homo sapiens. That type of person is going to hate Elon Musk and his little geniuses, because that type of person doesn't really think critically about the system. They just do what has been done and they don't really want change. But the other type of person says, oh, I see why you might ask me that. Yeah, we've done it this way, but you're probably saying there are better ways to do it, right? Let me hear your thoughts. That's the type of person that's going to like Elon and his little geniuses. So on that note,
Yeah, we're just two guys talking. Oh, we got it right. Respect.
Respect.